Hey guys, what's up? Here to review NXT Takeover New York. And what a match. What an event. What an event that was. 5 stars for me. Great. All 5 matches were just absolutely fantastic. But let's run down the card. First started off with the tag team match, War Raiders versus Ricochet and Black. There's a lot of predictableness coming into it, obviously with Aleister and Ricochet going up. But there was that little slight edge and hopeness that, Ricochet and Black could win the belts and then go on to the main roster at WrestleMania with the tag team belts. That would be just a nice bit of imagery, but very unlikely, and obviously it wasn't to be. But what a fantastic match. A few spots from it that I really enjoyed. Early on, Aleister and Rowe having a bit of a strike-off, bit of back and forth. That was amazing to see. Ricochet catching Hanson and going for a bit of a fall-away slam. That blew me away. Obviously, the usual flips and dips from Ricochet, but I think, and at the end, a great result. War Raiders have a lot more to do. Sorry, and they'll be great tag teams leading on. And Ricochet and Black obviously going up to the main roster. I'm super excited for that. Hope maybe they won't win at WrestleMania, win the belts, SmackDown belts at WrestleMania, but hopefully from then on they can have great singles careers from their point on. After that, we had Velveteen Dream defending his North American title against Riddle. It's always hard being the second match after such a fantastic opener, but they did well. It was a little bit different. Obviously, the opener was more fast-paced, just constant action. This one was a little bit more methodical, a little bit slower. Velveteen Dream is bona fide star coming out as the Statue of Liberty. Like, the dude has something different every time. He's just exudes confidence and personality and just has it. Everyone talks about it, and obviously it's just, you can tell he has it. But with Matt Riddle, it's pretty much exactly the same. Like, it's very different. He doesn't have that big ego sort of character, but you can tell in the ring he has it, and he has a very different style. And this was a match that I was really looking forward to. I've said it before. That probably, hopefully, a future, WWE title match when the two eventually get up to the main roster and face off up there. But obviously that's for the future. The match itself was good. It wasn't, obviously it was hard to follow up the main, like I said, follow up the opener, but it was a fantastic match between the two. I personally thought Riddle was going to win going in, but I'm happy with Velveteen Dream winning. The way it played out, it looked, you could see Riddle getting frustrated, and it sort of felt as you were watching it is he going to turn heel? Is he going to because he had a lot of fans going into it. It was the crowd was very split, considering how popular Velveteen Dream has been over the last year and a half. It was really interesting to see how that was matched by Matt Riddle's fans. It was really good to see. As the match went on, it looks like he's getting more and more frustrated, more frustrated. And then locked in the bro mission, but Velveteen rolled back, got him in the pin 1, 2, 3, and defended his title. Fantastic match, and at the end there, put out the fist bump. It looked like, maybe is he gonna get? Nah, all good. Hit the fist bump. We're all good. Fantastic match. After that, I think we had the UK title, NXT UK Championship, Pete Dunne versus Volta. And I was a little bit upset about this. I think it's a good result. Volta winning he's the new NXT UK champion. I think it makes sense. Pete Dunne's been the champ for nearing on 2 years. I think just 685 days, I think they said on the broadcast, which is fantastic. You don't ever see that these days in modern professional wrestling, at least in WWE. Sorry, and a great run. But I think he's like everything I was watching leading into Takeover. It makes sense. He's done pretty much everything he can. He's taken that belt and taken that, say, the division or that show to where it is. He's taken it from nothing into their own brand and their own show. And I think it's a good decision to put it on Volta, and hopefully he can build a star. But he made an amazing showing of himself. I didn't know much about Volta leading into it. I knew he was a big, giant Austrian guy that had really strong chops. But, he has really strong chops. Holy shit, that's intense as fuck. I was very impressed. He was very good. The way the match played out was really cool. Volta was dominating a lot, which you don't really see, and you see Pete Dunne, you don't really see him get dominated like that much. But Pete Dunne was going for the finger breaks a lot. A lot of people I saw online didn't really enjoy that. I personally thought it was nice. addition to it, like as a defense of the chops. You saw Volta selling that with the sore hand, every time he went for the chop, it like sort of affected him. But I think leading into it, I think a lot of people expected it to play out the way it did, like Volta just being the bigger, stronger competitor, and obviously, unfortunately, Pete couldn't deal with it. But the end was amazing. Like I thought when he hit the bitter end, I was like, holy shit, he's finally picked it up. He's like, he'll actually beat him. But nah, unfortunately, wasn't to be. Hit the powerbomb off the top rope, and then the big giant splash, giant fucker off the top rope, and obviously 1, 2, 3, Volta, new UK champion. And it's going to be interesting to see where Pete Dunne goes from here. A lot of people are saying go onto the main NXT. I personally would like to see him go onto the main roster soon. I don't know if that will happen, but it would. I think he's ready, and I think he'd be fantastic on the main roster, given that he gets a chance to actually be the bruiserweight on the main roster, which we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so that I was happy with that. Next, they had the women's four-way match. Kairi Sane, Io Shirai, and Bianca Belair against and Shayna Baszler, the champion. Fatal 4-way for the women's belt. Good match. I was really, really happy with this match. Again, that's the thing. That's the nice thing you get with multi-person matches is the fast pacedness. You can have a one-on-one and then those two get knocked out, and then another one-on-one to your triple threat sort of thing. You can have multiple people in the ring at the same time, and it doesn't really kill the momentum. Not many dead spots in the match, and fantastic match. I think it was great. You got a little back and forth with Io and Kairi Sane, sort of linking back to their days back in Japan. Bianca Belair looked fantastic in it. Her move at the end, the double finisher at the end on both Io and Kairi was fantastic. But I think again, like the result was the right result. Shayna's been a fantastic champion, and I think she's going to reign for a little while. I don't really know who else she can keep facing. Maybe she can just start having one-on-ones with Io, and like Bianca Belair. I think she's still shy of being up there as a champ, but she's not far off. I think she's got a little bit more work, but she's not far. She's again quite young, quite new in the biz, so it'll be really interesting to see where she goes from here. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Shayna Baszler when she first come up. But since then, she's proven me wrong, and she's proven she's got what the fuck it takes. And I've been really impressed with her recently, and I was decently happy with that result. And then finally, the main event. Jesus Christ. Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano for the vacant title after Ciampa got injured and had to vacate it. And far out. Holy shit, I haven't been through that many emotions watching a wrestling match in a long time. I love Adam Cole. I was super excited for him to win this match. But I think it went the right way. Johnny's a massive crowd favorite, of course. And yeah, the match was Like, obviously, there's a 2 out of 3 falls. Like, it's always gonna have that slow build leading up to the first couple of. There's Bailey there. Say hi. Leading up to the first few, the first fall obviously is going to be a little bit slow, but once we got the first 2 falls out of the way and that sort of predictability of like obviously Adam wins the first one, obviously Johnny's going to win the second one. That final fall was amazing. A lot of close calls, a lot of near finishes. It's hard to really be fair about it because I was 100% biased towards Adam Cole, but when an Undisputed Era came out, I was like, okay, this is it. Unfortunately, it's not the way. Like, I was hoping for like just a clean finish, and it would have been fine. But I was, okay, I'll take this. But Johnny just kept kicking out, and I think just when he picked him up and he was shouting in his face like, "You'll never make it. This is for me. It's my time." I was like, okay, this is where it's going to end. And yeah, locked in the Gargano escape after taking out the Undisputed Era fantastically, I must admit. It was a great sequence when he took out the Undisputed Era. Locked in the Gargano escape, and just as Adam Cole was reaching for the thing, kicked off the ropes, rolled back, pulled it even tighter, and yeah, tap, 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 new NXT Champion Johnny Gargano. Johnny Champion, as he coined it. New t-shirt, I might end up picking that up. But yeah, the right result, I think, in terms of Johnny Gargano deserves it. He's been the staple of NXT. I think like there was a point a few years ago when like a lot of the big stars sort of left, Bella, Owen, Zayn, Neville, and then Shinsuke. There was only like a few that come up, Shinsuke, and then he sort of disappeared pretty quickly, and like there was a little bit of a lull area. But I think from that, Johnny sort of picked up the slack and ended up being a big star in NXT, one of the big crowd favorites, and yeah, I think he really deserves it, and I hope he runs with it for a long time. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where it goes from here. A nice little touch at the end of the show, as he's up the ramp with Candice, he celebrates in the crowd first of all with his family, and then him and Candice walk up the ramp, do the little with the signature down the bottom corner, and then who pops up behind him? It's Ciampa, and obviously he does a nice little, he's behind me, isn't he? He's behind me. Obviously Ciampa's got the neck brace, just come out of neck surgery, and a great embrace between the two. Obviously, storyline wise, there's been a big feud between the two. Obviously they're friends and Ciampa turned on him, but I think backstage, obviously they're like best friends. I think Ciampa was the best man at Johnny's wedding. Like they are obviously really close friends, and I think that was just nice to see. Obviously, like if it had played out properly, I think what would have happened is Johnny would have beat Ciampa for the belt on this show if Ciampa didn't get injured, and that would have been like sort of the handing of the torch personally from the two. But I think this was a nice way to do it, where he won the belt, vacated unfortunately from Ciampa. But it's a nice way to be like, hey man, like well done, like, and it was really cool to see. There was dust in the air, so something came out of my eye, but you know, like, it was great, and overall, what a fucking show, like, amazing NXT. They never cease to like upset me. It's, every show for the last 2 years or so, even longer. Like I've only been watching it for the last 3 or so years, but it pretty much. I think there's one takeover where I was like, oh, that was sort of alright, but every other one's been, holy shit, that was amazing. And this one, for me, was top 2, 3 that they've done that I've seen. And yeah, follow that WrestleMania, I guess you say. It's going to be interesting to see how WrestleMania goes. I think the big thing for me for WrestleMania, this is not a WrestleMania show, but just one thing I wanted to mention was, I think one thing about WrestleMania is that the problem is it's just too long. Like, I will enjoy matches that I enjoy, and as anything, like, I won't enjoy matches that I like don't really care about. But the good thing about NXT takeovers, at least, is that 5 matches. They're usually about 5 matches long, and it would last about 3 hours or so. Whereas WrestleMania is like, I think like 15, 16 matches spread over, like, I think the main show is going to be like 5.5 hours or something like that, and 2-hour pre-show, which has got probably the 2 Battle Royals and probably the Revival match. So it's like spreading all of them has to be 13 matches, say, over 5.5 hours, and you got your Elias concert, and you got all the other nonsense in between that. That's where they sort of make it hard for themselves, but I don't want to get anyone hopes, like make anyone like less excited for it. It's still bloody WrestleMania. It's still WrestleMania weekend, but I think, I put it on Twitter before, I think from this point on it's going to start becoming TakeOver weekend, because for the last few years TakeOver has taken over the weekend, and I think they've done it again. Hopefully not. I really want WrestleMania to be amazing, but it's going to be hard to beat that, so good luck WrestleMania. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. I've only got a couple of videos up now, but I'll probably keep putting up videos like this. A few soccer videos, a few wrestling videos, maybe a few UFC videos in the future. I might start doing more predictions or previews instead of all these review shows. We'll see how we go. If I can get a few more, just people chuck in the comments what you want me to do, what I can change, anything. Tell me I suck. I don't give a fuck. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, and have a good one.